Okay, how you all doing? Welcome back to my vlog. Today I'm gonna talk to you about something that I got really excited about during the week, and that is how to be agile in the business of music, in the music business. With a lot of the stuff that we're doing with the Velocity, we're gonna have to have a real look of how we're approaching things, and this is what got me thinking that how often us musicians can be in a very messed up idea about how we should run our business and how we should, even when it comes to the creating of the art part as well. And I realized that, there's a much better way to success, and there's a much better way to finding out whether the success potentially is there or not. We all go out with this vision that we're going to make the greatest album ever, and it's gonna it's going to be discovered, and we're going to be amazing stars because of this one wonderful piece of work. And we hold off on everything just because we cannot afford to pay for the best studio or the best musicians or the best home recording equipment or software. Here's what I'm going to try to do and break down here is the thing that you have to change your mindset, especially in 2017 when there's no physical album sales, or if they are very minimal, and they're mostly to live shows and that kind of stuff. There are very little money for the independent artists through streaming services. There's a lot more value actually in giving your music out for free and then piggybacking off of everything else that comes around it, or building a musical structure where you give the main product away for free, but then you have the higher level products which you can charge for something a lot more from your super fans. And there's a lot more value in this kind of business models these days, and there's a lot more proof from the people on the independent side of that these kind of models work better than trying to go through the traditional route, which is very often very crippling. Very often you get over driven by massive record labels, and you're in a money game that you cannot win, because the record company has always more money to pump on their artists than you ever will be able to do. And so basically you set yourself to lose if you try to work the way they do. Here's the way I want you to start thinking about it. I want you to test your music. I want you to make a recording with as little and with as cheap as possible. If your material is good enough, your audience will be very forgiving on the actual sound quality of stuff. But not only that, you can make great sounding stuff for very much nothing. I did an experiment a couple of weeks ago where a couple of weeks ago, where I actually sang into a Velocity project, and it was just a test. I wasn't doing anything serious. And I sang through the Apple's headphone microphone, and the results were wow. It's like, wow, pretty amazing. Then one of our other collaborators, I call him not the super collaborators, Ozzy, he followed up and did something similar, and it sounded great again. So it's definitely there. It's the ways of doing these little hacks around your music are definitely there. We got it done pretty much non-existent budget. If you can make a recording, let's start with a song or a couple of songs, but I would go even as far as say that if you can make in the traditional sense an album. I'm not talking about physical product. I'm talking about something that you can just give away for free in a digital format to your fans, or you can submit it to the streaming services or whatever it is, and you can do it in a budget that is pretty much non-existent, and you can push it out and you can promote it, and you can see a little bit of success. That's a sign that it might be worth your while investing a little bit better on a little higher quality product. But until you see that success, it's the most craziest thing to be pumping money into something that you don't know if it's going to succeed. I've seen it. I've witnessed it with my own eyes. I've seen band spend 10,000 euros on an album. I know that band is never going to make that money back. Or if they do, it comes drips and drops over the next 20 years. That's not a successful business model. You need to be in a position that you're in profit fast. And then, whatever profit you make out of that, you can invest it back into your music again. So start simple, start cheap, start easy. There are a lot of people like me who are more than willing to help you out to get on your feet. For example, in the network of Velocity, where you're going like, I can't afford to hire a band, and well, you know what? There's a lot of musicians there that would be more than happy to work with you and give you a helping hand, get you off your feet. They're investing in you in the hopes that then you come back somewhere later on when you actually do have a budget and saying that, look, really appreciate what you did in the past with me. I'd love to use you again, and this one time I would like to pay you something. And if you can't do that, everybody understands. Like, music fails all the time, and that's just the way it is. I know there's going to be people nagging at me saying that you should never work for free, which I would say to that it's the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard. I've personally living through some times at the moment where I've proved that working for free was the best thing I've ever done. Some of the best jumps in my life and some best opportunities came out of a situation when I worked for free. So think about that. You want to make as cheap as possible products. Concentrate on the art rather than the actual quality of the little details. The little details don't matter. Some of the greatest punk albums I've ever heard were done in a really, really, really crappy recording systems. There's some amazing singer-songwriters that done albums in their bedroom for a very, very little budgets, and that's just the way it's supposed to be in 2017. If you have the budget to go to studio, use it wisely. I remember I played in a band called Trey years ago. We did our first album. I think we spent 1 day on it. As far as I remember, we recorded the whole album in 1 day and we mixed it in 1 day, and the response was phenomenal. It was not perfect by any stretch of imagination. I still see copies of that album popping up in which, because it's been out of print, I see it popping up in eBay, or it's just proof that the need was there. I highly recommend that you go out there and you record an album with the minimum budget. Imagine if you could think about it, like if you have a live show, you can record the live show, bang an album out of it, see what the response is. Or if you could do an album quick and cheap. They are the two words that you need to focus on. There's no point of spending 6 months on an album. I'm sorry, but that's a luxury that you don't have as an independent artist in the beginning of your career. You need to be taking steps, and you need to be taking them fast. Get a product out there, promote it, and promoting is talk for another day, but we will get there soon enough. Now, today, I want you to go and record something. That's my ask for you guys today, is to go and record something, anything. Get started. Break through the barrier of oh no, I won't do it until I have this and that and the other. If you really don't have any resources, or you think you don't have any resources, get in contact with me. Let me know in the comments. I break down what you can do with whatever you have. And if you really are in a situation that you don't have anything, then you're gonna have to start figuring out how to get the minimum equipment to get you started. But even at that, I'm talking about very, very minimum, and I'm more than happy to advise you on that one as well. There we go. That's today's talk. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Sorry the vlogs have been a little bit late, but it's just been mental week, but it's been an awesome week, and I shall share you more about it as soon as I get permissions. But so far, it's just been great, and I shall talk to you guys more tomorrow.